my name's Leanne. I'm from Yoga Movement. I just want to spend the next 20 minutes bringing you a mindfulness meditation practice. So this is something you can either use at the end of your class, your yoga class, or maybe you just want to use it in your daily practice or weekly practice, especially if you're feeling quite overwhelmed. It can be really good just to center yourself, to slow everything down, slow down those busy thoughts and bring everything into alignment in the here and now. So to get us started, I want you to find a seated position. So I'm sitting on top of a bolster today. Now you're quite welcome to even just sit yourself in a normal chair. If you are sitting on the ground, please just find something to sit on that just lifts your hips a little. So a pillow, a block, a bolster if you're lucky enough to have one, a folded blanket, any of those things will work. So once you do that, find your easy seat. So easy seat means exactly that it's something comfortable that you can sit in for quite some time. Now, what we want to feel is that the hips are nice and grounded so that we're feeling nice and even through the whole of the body. Then we're going to press back up into the spine, lengthen up to that crown of the head and roll our shoulders back and down. The hands are going to be nice and heavy. They could either be on the thighs or you might cup them into the lap. What we're going to do next is to close your eyes and start to think about the breath. So what we do is slow everything down. So take a nice, slow, deep inhale through your nose or through your mouth and just watch it entering into the chest. So you'll watch your chest lift. You can feel that space being created between your front ribs and your back ribs. And then as you breathe out, let all of the breath go. So just allowing all the breath to be released. And this is the pattern. This is what we're just coming back to throughout the whole of our mindfulness meditation class. So another nice, slow, deep breath in. Feeling the front ribs and the back ribs expand. And then as you breathe out, let all of the breath go so that we can find our body softens a little. The ribs, they return back to normal. The forehead might even drift downwards a little. The inhale might feel as though it's pulling you up from the base. Might even lift the chest a little. So that as you breathe out, you can find some softness. You can just let your body float downwards. We're bringing that mind into what's happening inside the body, that internal movement. You mightn't be able to see any movement from the outside. The movement from within might be ever so slight. But as you draw that breath in, imagine in your own mind the pathway that it's taking. So how we do that is to picture or find a picture of yourself within your mind. If you're finding that's a photo from the outside, I want you to flip it and find that photo from the inside. So just imagine that you're following that breath down through the nose or the mouth. It's entering thick down through the back of the throat. It's allowing the chest to lift, the front ribs, the back ribs to expand. And then as you breathe out, just watching the diaphragm just come back to normal. Those ribs coming back. The breath traveling up through the throat, being released through the nose or the mouth. Just going to continue to follow this through. So pull that breath in, make it nice and deep through the diaphragm, the expansion of your rib cage. You might even travel that breath into the belly, so the belly might expand a little. And then as you breathe out, follow that breath up from the base, through the chest, back of throat, nose, mouth, letting all of it go. The inhale, it's going to create space, create room, internal movement. You might even start to drift that breath into a few more places. Maybe it's coming down into the hips, or maybe it's releasing through shoulders, arms. And then as you breathe out, pull the breath up. Feel it traveling through the body, back into center, up through the back of the throat, the nose or the mouth, or even the crown of your head. It's the inhale that creates the space. So it doesn't have to be true to fact. It can be totally within your own mind, your own imagination. You're just giving your mind a focus, something to target it through. So in your own mind, just watch that breath enter inside the body. Watch it start to filter into many different places. Traveling down your arms, into your fingers, through your thighs, knees, toes. And then it's the out breath that is pulled away from these places. It allows some softness to fall into these. So the fingers and toes are just allowed to soften. Calves, thighs, arms, shoulders fall away from ears. Forehead might even drift downwards just a little. Just following that inhale once again. If you're having trouble to quieten that thought process, if your mind is still really busy, I want you always just to come back to breath. So you might even think about the breath being a colour. Maybe it's blue or orange for warmth. So that as you breathe in, you can watch that colour come through nose or mouth, down the back of the throat, little particles of blue or orange, filtering, expanding through the body, working their way a little deeper, a little further than before. And then it's the exhale that pulls them back, takes a little of the tension, little of the tightness, travels up through the body, through the throat, the nose, the mouth, even through the crown of your head. You can just maybe imagine that that breath is being expelled out through the crown of your head. So we just spend some time here, just investigating, always coming back. Because if your mind gets a little busy, if you catch yourself thinking other thoughts, so maybe thoughts of something in the past, something in the future, we just recognize that for what it is. Recognize that those thoughts is not where you're supposed to be at the moment. And we pull those thoughts back to something physical. Back to your breath, back to your body, the slowness of it. If you're still having trouble just to stay connected inside your body to breath, you can always count the breath. As it comes in, you might count 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Make it a little deeper. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just continue on this pattern. If that's what allows you just to focus a little more, you can do this in your own mind. Just counting the breath. Otherwise, if you find that that's a little difficult, sometimes it's just a matter of coming back to what's happening inside that chest. This is a really good way even just to start your meditation. If this is all a little new to you, you can do that by just placing one hand on top of your chest, maybe even placing the other on top. So as you breathe in, just feel that that chest lifts underneath those hands. And as you breathe out, let all of the breath go. Slow breath out. Watch as that chest sinks downwards. Just spending that time here, watching the chest lift and rise. And slowly letting all of the breath go, letting the shoulders fall away from the ears, watching as those hands come downwards. Slowing the inhale, making it as long and lengthy as possible. As you breathe out, let all of the breath go, letting the breath release. You're welcome to either leave your hands here, or as you're watching, let the hands fall down into the lap or on the thighs. We're just going to sit here with this for the next few minutes. It's okay for the mind to get distracted. It's what it's built to do. It's built to be busy. It's built to have purpose. What we're practicing is slowing it down, finding a focus, a single thought, single feeling, single sensation. So keep coming back to making that inhale as long as you can, and releasing the out breath, letting yourself soften, letting it all go. Toes and fingers soft and gentle. Thighs becoming heavy. Hips sinking downwards. Your spine might be just a little rounded, a little curled. Shoulders falling downwards away from your ears. Just watch what's happening in your jaw. Make sure that you're not clenching those teeth. What's happening in your forehead? Are you squinting a little? If you are, just have a little wriggle through the forehead and allow those lines to soften. your thoughts start to get a little busy, if you have thoughts that drift in and out, ones that don't serve you any purpose, I want you to recognize those and replace them with thoughts that do serve you purpose. Take notice of what's happening inside your body. Where do you feel a little stiff, a little sore? Can you still notice the movement inside your chest? That diaphragm, it grows, expands, and then it just returns back to normal. There's something really comforting in knowing that with every breath that we take, it creates this space, this nourishment, this depth inside our bodies. But as we breathe out, as we let all of that breath go, it returns to normal. So the comfort is that our breath is there. It's there to allow us to grow, to soften. It's also there allowing us to let go, to let our tension seep away, and allows everything to return back to normal, to where it should be. Just thinking about that in our own minds. The effect of breathing slowly, the effect on our bodies, the effect on our thoughts. Being able to find some softness within ourselves. Not tightening, not holding on. Just letting go. Being okay with being with ourselves. Being okay with being still. Of doing nothing. Of just being. Think about that inhale coming in. We're trying to draw it down to our fingers and our toes. I'm going to give them just a little wriggle. As you breathe out, let all of the breath go. Draw the breath in. Travel it down to the calves, the thighs, the arms, the shoulders. I want you just to have a little wiggle through the shoulders. Little small shoulder rolls one way and then the other. Let them be still. Draw the breath in. Pull the hands up to the chest. So take them into prayer position. Back of the thumbs up to your chest. Slightly bow your head. Think again once to that connection of our breath. The internal movement that we can feel behind our hands. The slowness of it. I'm going to bring the back of the thumb, The first finger up to your forehead, bow your head and repeat after me. Namaste. Gently let the hands fall down. Lengthen up through the crown of the head and ever so slightly open your eyes. Just going to let the gaze be downwards just for a moment or two. Just notice that quietness, that peace, slowness of yourself. And just bringing a little more awareness in. Take any movement that you like. Gently waking the body up. Thank you all for your time today. I hope this is something that you enjoyed. If you didn't, if you've actually found it quite difficult, my advice to you is just to practice. So this is not something that's easy to quieten those thoughts, quieten that whole brain process of processing lots of things all at the one time. So if you did struggle with that today, my advice is to set yourself a challenge. Set yourself, a week, practicing maybe every second day. And then maybe for the week after that, practicing every day. And just see where that leads you. If you have any questions, you're always more than welcome to send me messages. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And you can find that by searching Yoga Movement with Leanne, all one word. And thank you all for joining me today.